With 2022 coming to an end, I thought it'd be very fitting to create a video displaying all the models that I've built this year. Now, progress-wise, as in making better builds, I would say that this year has definitely been the most eventful for me. With that being said, I've definitely made a lot of mistakes and learned a lot of lessons this year, especially from you guys, you in the comments, and those on my Instagram. Y'all have always given me a bunch of helpful advice, things to do, things not to do, recommending the best products, and I'm very grateful for all of y'all. So the 5 models that are in front of you right now are currently the only models that I have from 2022. Some of these models have sustained a little bit of damage, dust, and wear and tear from over time, but all in all, most of them are still in good condition. With that being said, let's jump into displaying each of these models. The first kit that I built this year was the Nissan Skyline GTR R34 Nismo edition. Fun fact about this kit, whenever I built it, it took me 2 separate attempts, but I put everything into one video just to make it less stressful. The first attempt, I messed up the paint on the body and decided that I was going to strip it with some paint stripper. Then it melted the body, which basically left it as a complete disaster. Same day, I went and bought the exact same kit and used the body from it, which is the one that you're looking at right now. It was definitely an unfortunate turn of events, but honestly, I just wanted to finish this. I really think the Skyline is definitely a good looking car, timeless, classic, and all around a banger. This car is fitted with some Nismo AMG GT2s, perfect wheel fitment, exhaust, and all around it just looks amazing. Next up, I built the Aoshima Rocket Bunny Toyota GT86 in silver. This car was definitely another learning process for me, as it took me 2 separate attempts to paint the body. First it was purple, then it ended up being silver, just due to me not liking how the paint turned out. All in all, the fitment on this model is not very good. As you can see, there's a few hood gaps around the trunk, and even gaps around the taillights. But nevertheless, it does look good from afar, a 5-footer if you will. It is fitted with the SR20 single turbo engine, just to give it that modified aspect, and it does have some nice looking wheel fitment. Everything except for the SR20 in this car came with the kit, and in my opinion, that makes this kit very, very detailed. The wheels, Enkei RS05 RRs, tire lettering, a bunch of decals, a ginormous wing, and an opening hood. It's definitely a good kit. Following the GT86, I built the Revell Mercedes AMG GT. This build was nothing spectacular in my opinion. I did everything basically following the instructions of the kit. It's fitted on some CCW classics, good wheel fitment, and nothing too out of pocket. The color of this body is Tamiya blue. Before painting it, I expected the blue to be a little bit brighter, as that is what the color looked like before going into the airbrush. Nevertheless, this is what the color ended up looking like. It's not a bad color in my opinion, but I did expect it to be brighter. All around, the finish on this body isn't too well. There are some rough spots and some uneven spots of paint. Nevertheless, this was the last build that I did before I upgraded my setup. Up next, we have the Aoshima Liberty Walk Nissan GTR R35. In my opinion, this build right here is where I started to get better at doing this. Thanks to a bunch of y'all in the comments, I upgraded my painting setup and started using Mr. Color Thinner and Clear Coat. With this being said, I was able to produce a lot nicer of a finish. I was still pretty new to it in this build and it didn't come out perfect, but the builds after that definitely did see better results. This kit was definitely very tedious, as it had a bunch of small parts that basically needed a bunch of details. The exhaust, the wing, canards, all the aero, a bunch of very detailed wheels and brakes, headlights. It definitely was a detailed kit all around, but I liked it. Everything on this GTR was included in the kit. It has good wheel fitment and is definitely a kit that I recommend. Last but not least, we have the Tamiya Subaru BRZ. This kit, in my opinion, was definitely the best kit that I've built in the entirety of 2022. Good wheel fitment, a detailed engine, perfect paint in my opinion. Well, nearly perfect. A lot of good details, and all around it just looks very appealing in my opinion. The color on this body is pearl blue. It's a Tamiya lacquer paint that I got put onto by somebody in the YouTube comment. Very grateful for y'all. It's fitted on some Enkei RPF ones, which fit perfectly. It also has a detailed engine kit that I modified with the aftermarket cold air intake and plenty of other engine details. It also has an aftermarket exhaust, side splitters, carbon details on the fenders, and some stance wheel fitment. Well, with all these kits out of the way, that wraps up all the builds that I have for 2022. It's definitely been a very successful year modeling wise, and I cannot wait for 2023. Anyways, I'll catch y'all then. Deuces.